Compass Box Independent Bottler, Orchard House, bottled at 46% ABV, natural color, non-chill filtered. It is a no age statement whiskey. Some of the whiskies are sourced from Linkwood, Kleinlish, so they do pick some really good whiskies. They also use new make spirits from different companies in making this Orchard. And what I do like about independent bottlers, they have an opportunity to go source high quality spirits, then they can use their different distilleries to create a blend, or in this case a blended malt whiskey that should be perfection. Quite looking forward to trying this one. So the bottle itself, it is a blended malt. I do like the label. I do like the promises that they add on the label for me. A big promise by the name, the Orchard House, and then of course all the fruit that they add on the label. So I'm expecting to walk down a orchard of apples, pears, berries. I'm not so sure why there is snails, moths and spiders on it. Makes no sense, but yeah, it is an orchard and we expect to find a little bit of critters in it as well. But I do like the nice label on it. I do like the fact that they give me all the information here at the bottom. Hope you can see at the bottom you have blended malt Scotch whiskey, non-chill filtered, natural color, bottled at 46% ABV. So they're giving me quite a lot of information. Also, I was quite excited. On the top, you have a little bit of a QR code. While it was not what I was expecting, I start scanning it, and it's just to inform me that the plastic that they are using, it should be wood, and they had a little bit of a problem during the COVID period, and they could not source the wood to make the tops, so they used plastics. Now that for me, it's absolutely fantastic. The fact that they thought maybe somebody's going to buy it expecting a standard, and the standard is not met by a little bit of a plastic cap instead of a wood cap. So I find it refreshing that they are giving me all this relevant information. If you go to their website, you will also find there's a chart of everything that you can download that they add into this bottle. So there's no mystery, there's no guessing what distillery it comes from. They give you that information. They tell you the ratio on how it was mixed and blended, so you know exactly what is in this bottle. I find that very refreshing, and when I do the video editing, I will also put the chart up. Now the same thing I did on my previous review of the Compass Box, and we have the spice tree. Oh, I do like it. Again, the same information, a downloadable PDF to tell you exactly what is in the bottle. And this one was also bottled at 46% ABV. Again on the label, non-chill filtered, natural color, blended malt Scotch whiskey. Love this stuff. But tonight, of course, it is all about the orchard, all about the apples, and all of the nice stuff that we can find on this bottle. So I do expect to find something special in the glass. If you have an opportunity to source whiskey, you're not going to pick something that is not nice, something that is not high quality. Now in this glass you will find some Linkwood, you will find some Kleinlish, you'll find some whiskies from the Highlands, You will also find some whiskey from Kolila, give a little bit of a peat, not much. And if I remember correctly, the Kolila contributed like 2.4% of the total volume of it. So when we do find the peat, it's going to be a wee peat and not a wee beastie. There's also whiskey from a distillery. They don't say, but they are talking about a distillery in the town of Abelauer. So they don't give me that information, but also a little bit of a contribution of just over 6% of that. So quite a lot of information. I would encourage you, go to their website, see what they offer, see what they tell you, what is in a glass. Refreshing. I wish a lot of distilleries would do the same thing. Slap a QR code on a bottle, so for the people that want more information, that they can at least get that, and you don't have to search from website to website, and of course other reviewers, just to find more information on the whiskey that you want to buy. Fantastic idea, love it. So on to tonight's whiskey, the Orchard House Compass Box Independent Bottler, and on the color. Now, natural color, non-chill filtered, a lovely light golden color, and you can also see that it is not a lot of filtration going on. There is wee specks in it. It looks a little bit on the dirty side. It looks like there is something in it. It might be that a lot of people don't like little things in a petri dish drifting all over the place, but for me, I don't care. So, nice color, nice light golden color, no age statement whiskey. So, the age, well, I did a little bit of digging. It can be anything from 7 up to, some people mention 11, 12 years old, not sure, but I presume the youngest would be a range of about 7 years. So, on the nose, cheers. Now, this is something that make me smile. For years, I've been chasing that sweet whiskey, that Pedro Jimenez whiskey, the sherried whiskies, and I used to push away that whiskies that are just matured in ex-bourbon casks, for example, the lighter whiskies. But that changed a while ago when I started into Glencadam. I think was the first light orchard type, apple type whiskey. I loved it. Moved on to the Japanese whiskey, also very light, sweet, fruity type of whiskey. So it was refreshing for me to find something that is that lightness, that fruitiness, that apple, that pear notes that come out. So on this one, that lovely sweetness, it's quite a bold sweetness, but more like a vanilla sweetness. It's not a sugary sweetness, not a molasses type of sweetness, that sickening sweetness, just a lovely light vanilla fruitiness, big red apple notes. There's a little bit of a very ripe pear note, and in the end, but not always, I get a little bit of a pineapple note. It's a lot like a fruit salad that you get. Also a little bit of a creamy note. It reminds me a little bit of a vanilla ice cream coming out. It does have quite a lot of vanilla sweetness on it. And not every time I get a little bit of a green note. Maybe a little bit of a cut flowers. You get that fragrance of the nice sweet flower, but when you cut the stem, that little bit of a green note that I pick up, a little bit of a herbal type of note, maybe a hint of a fresh basil. And then I picked up that smoke, and the first time I tasted this one, I was not sure. I was not expecting to find a little bit of a smoke, a real hint of a smoke. And so I wasn't sure. I didn't have the chart with me. And I thought to myself, this cannot be. I need to check out if it's true or not. So I did that digging, went to the website, and yeah, they did say 2.4% of Kolila in it. But it is very faint. You really have to train your nose to pick it up. But that sweetness is so inviting. That freshness is so inviting. And the more time you spend with it, it seems to open up really nice, bringing out that heavy apples, pears, fruity notes. A little bit of a honey note coming out. That reminds me of, I like some honey on my fruit salad. And sometimes I just take a couple of drops of a light honey just to sprinkle it over fruit salad. I get that same lovely aromas coming out. Wow, that smoke, every time I go back, it becomes less and less. Your nose acclimatizes to it, and now it's almost gone. I don't get any of that smoke. It is now just that fantastic high ABV fruit salad with a drop of honey on it. The alcohol, even at 46% ABV, is not overpowering everything. It's quite mellow and it's quite well balanced. I also pick up a little bit of a light banana bread, and it reminds me a little bit of a white dessert wine. That fruity flavors in a very sweet white dessert wine. But of course we need to drink it as well. Cheers. That is fantastic. It's sweet, it's vanilla, a little bit of a spicy note. If you take a little bit too big a sip, you get quite a big spice hit on it. For me, if I stick to very small sip at that 46%, it's really nice. Sweet, a little bit of a caramel note coming out, a little bit of a creamy toffee note appearing, a little bit of a oak spiciness that comes out, a little bit of a build up on that oak. But I think it is quite important to have a little bit of an oaky component, a little bit of a bitter note, just to tone down all that sweetness. Also pick up some nice homemade apple cider or apple juice. We in Belgium, we have a shop that sells this organic fruit juices, and they have an apple juice, like a dirty apple juice, real apple juice, 100% apple juice. It's cloudy, it's thick, it's sweet, reminds me of that. Oh, I do like this one. I also get a little bit of that honey notes, again with that fruit salad with some honey drizzled over it. So you have that fruity components, that apples, the pears, maybe a small little hint of a pineapple in between, but not a lot. It doesn't overpower. And then you also get that blobs of honey every now and again. I'm just going to try it with a little bit of a bigger sip. Cheers. If you take a bigger sip, maybe a little bit too much, that spicy component kicks in, that heat of the alcohol kicks in. You have this warmth going, that oakiness coming in, but still quite manageable, but definitely more on the oaky side, a more little bit of a bitter note, and maybe of a cacao note, a little bit of that dark chocolate bitter note, but not the flavors of the cacao. Maybe espresso or a Turkish coffee type of bitter notes that comes in. Really nice. So my suggestion, if you drink it at 46% ABV, small sips, just enough to get that lovely flavors coming out. It's not about the quantity that you drink, of course, it's about the quality that you drink. There's a little bit of a dry mouthfeel that I also pick up, so it's not the oily one. Let me just make sure. Oh, but it is so lovely. Dry, it's not an oily one. Very short finish, and it's maybe 10-15 seconds. The flavors are gone. A little bit of a sweetness, a little bit of a caramel note lingers, and of course it begs you to try some more. I really like this one. Now, I have tried this one some time ago also with a little bit of water. It takes water very well. It does bring down the flavor component a little bit on the nose. It tones down a little bit of the sweetness. It brings out a little bit of a citrus note, so a little bit more of a lemon preserve note that comes out. And of course the alcohol level goes down, so there's a lot less on the alcohol. And of course also the smoke completely disappeared when I added some water to this one. But it still had a lovely nose. With the water on the taste, it does take water fantastic. So if you don't want to go into the 46% ABV, feel free to add a little bit of water, maybe a couple of drops at a time to get to your perfect level. But I did like it with the water, without the water. Both were for me absolutely fantastic. Light, lovely, sweet whiskey, a daily sipper if you want one. Now I've also loved the Spice Box. Again, quite a fantastic whiskey. If you compare the two, of course the Spice Box is a darker color. But again, if you're looking for something that's light and fragrant, sweet, you cannot go wrong. Now, I only had the two, and I must admit, both of them are absolutely fantastic. Orchard, more sherry influence, more Pedro Ximénez type of sweetness. The darkness coming out in this one, and the light is like Jekyll and Hyde. Completely different, but such a nice whiskey. Now I am in a journey with some independent bottlers. I also have another bottle from Adelphi Selection. This is the Ben Rhines 10-year-old that I will open up sometime soon. But look at the color. Natural color, non-chill filtered, 10 years old, and this is the color that they produce. Looking forward to trying this one as well. So what do you think? There is so many nice whiskies from Compass Box. Some of them are a little bit expensive. So I will try to source some of them. Try some more of this independent bottler whiskies. Compass Box, up to date. Well, only two. It's really ticking the boxes for me. It's a really nice, light, fruity whiskey that I do enjoy. So let me know which Compass Box I should try next, and I will see if I can get a bottle. So thank you very much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I see you next time. Cheers.